This lesson is simplifying higher roots. So instead of square root, we can do cube root, fourth root, and also fifth root, and sixth root, 7, and so on. So one more time. Instead of doing square root, we can do cube root, fourth root, fifth root, and higher root. Okay? So in this example, we have cube root. So find the numbers that can be multiplied, which equals 625. One more time. Find the numbers that multiply, will gives me 625. In this situations, I have 5 times 5 times 5 times another 5. So 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times the third 5 will end up 125, and 125 times another 5 will give me 625. Okay, so these are the numbers that gives me 625, and it would be nice that they are repeating so that we can get rid of the cube root. Okay, so again, find the numbers that multiply gives me 625, and they are the same number which are repeating. Okay, so same number and repeating. Okay, so in this case there are 4 5s that will give me 625, and then after that we will break this up by 3. Why 3? Because it's cube root. So this number right here outside where I'm circling, that will tell you that you must have 3 the same number that are repeating 3 times. One more time. This number out here means that number should be the same repeated 3 times. Again, this number right here where I'm circling means the number is repeated 3 times. Okay, so here in this situations I have 3 5s, number 5 that is repeated 3 times. So I'll separate it into its own, okay, and then the last one is by itself. Again, why am I making this into 3s? Because this number is my key. This key tells me I must have the same number repeated 3 times. Okay, so these 3 5s go into its own, and then this last 5 go to itself. And as you can see, this 3 and this 3, because they are the same number, they cancel out. All I have left is just a 5. And this cube root 5, I cannot cube root 5, so I leave it alone. Okay, so one more time. This 3 and this 3, they are the same number, so cancel them out. I just have this 5, so bring it straight down. This cube root 5 cannot be cube root, so just leave it alone. And this is the final answer to the original problem of cube root 625. Again, whatever this number is, we need to find a number that is multiplied to itself how many times so that it can be canceled out. Okay, so this is 3, so I need to find 3 numbers that are the same, repeated 3 times, okay, so that I can cancel out. Okay, move on to the next example. Here's the next example, same thing. This -2, I'm not going to do anything about it, so just bring it straight down. As you can see, I brought it straight down. Okay, now here, this is not cube root, this is fourth root. So I need to find a number that is multiplied that gives me 112, that is can be broken down into fourth root, okay, or repeated 4 times. Okay, so the only number that I can use is 16 times 7. 16 times 7 is 112. Okay, bring down the n6, bring down the n4th. One more time. Why am I using 16 7? Because this 16 can be broken down into 4. Okay, so 16 times 7 is 112. Now I'm going to break these down into 4 separate pieces. So fourth root 16, fourth root 7, fourth root n, 6, fourth root m to the fourth power. Okay, so I went from here to here. All I did was I separated individually. Okay, next, this fourth root 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And this 2 is repeated 4 times. That's why there's a 4 here. This 4 means get a number that is repeated 4 times, which gives me 16. Okay, so 2 times 2 gives me 4. 4 times 2 gives me 8. 8 times 2 gives me 16. Again, this 4 means find a number that is multiplied to itself 4 times or repeated 4 times, which gives me 16. The only number is 2. Okay, so 2 times 2 gives me 4. 4 times 2 gives me 8. 8 times 2 gives me 16. Okay, this 7 over here cannot be, there is no number that can give me 7 but fourth root, so we'll leave that alone. Next, this and 6. And 6 can be broken up into 4 and 2 because 4 plus 2 gives me 6. Okay, so one more time. This 6 is broken up into 4 and 2 because 4 plus 2 gives me 6. Now why do I need to break it up into 4? Because this 4 right here can cancel out. Okay, this right here, the m, it's already the way it is because the inside it's already a 4, the outside is also a 4, so we leave it alone. Okay, so I went from this line to go, so now I'm going to go from this line to this line. So earlier I went from this line to this line. Now I want to go from this line to this line. Okay, so this -2, I haven't done anything to it, so bring it straight down. Here I short this down to 1, 2, 3, 4, so 2 4s. Okay, there are 4 2s, so 2 to the 4th. Okay, so that's all I did. I wrote this in 2 to the 4th. Why 4? Because there are 4 2s. This right here is, I haven't done anything to it, so leave it alone. This right here, I broke it up into 2 pieces, n to the 4th and n squared. Okay, this is already the way it is. I leave it alone. Okay, next, I'm going to go from this line down to this line. So this 4 and this 4, so one more time, this 4 here and this 4, since they are the same, they cancel out, so I just bring this 2 straight down. Okay, so one more time, this -2, there's nothing to do with it, I bring it straight down. This 4 and this 4 are the same number, they will cancel out, so I bring down this 2. Okay, now this 4n here, 4 and this 4, they are the same, so they cancel out, so I bring this n over here. And this m over here, same thing. This 4 and this 4 are the same, so they cancel out, so I bring this m over here. The only one that is not fourth root is this one, 4 root to the 7 and 4 root to n, 4 root n squared. That cannot be fourth root, so I leave it alone. So this one right here cannot be fourth root, I leave it alone. This one cannot be fourth root, I leave it alone. Okay, so I went from this line down to this line. Now let's clean this up a little bit more. So as you can see, -2 times 2 gives me -4. N and m, leave it alone, there's nothing to do. And then this fourth root and this fourth root, since they are the same number, I can put them together as 1. So again, this is a fourth, this is a fourth, because they are the same number. I can put 7 and n squared together as one item. Okay, so this is the final answer to the original problem up here. Okay, so be very careful of all the steps right here. Okay, so this is the fourth root. So again, earlier I did cube root, I did fourth root. Now let's do a fifth root, and once you get the hang of this, it's the same thing for all other roots. Okay, so here I have fifth root, 224p7. So find a number that can be multiply gives me 224. So the only number that can be multiplied 224 and is repeated 5 times is this 2 and the 7. Okay, so one more time. What number can I multiply repeated 5 times will gives me 224. So that's what this 5 outside right here, this small 5 means what can I multiply repeated 5 times will gives me 224. Okay, so the only number that can work is this 2. 2 times 2 gives me 4. 4 times 2 gives me 8. 8 times 2 gives me 16. 16 times the last 2 is 32. And then 32 times 7 will gives me 224. Okay, so that's where I got these numbers from. And then bring down the P7. Again, this small number right here means what number can I multiply and it is repeated 5 times. Okay, and so I broke this down. So this line, I'm going to go down to here. So there are 5 2's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wrote it here. This 7 is by itself. This P7 can be separated into 2 pieces because 5 plus 2 gives me 7. Okay, 5 plus 2 gives me 7. So that's why it's broken down into 2 pieces. And why it is broken down into 5? Because the outside number is a 5. Okay, so here, this step, from here to here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That goes here. The 7 is by itself. This P7, I broke it down into 2 pieces because 5 plus 2 gives me 7. Why did I break it down into 5? Because the number outside right here where I'm circling, it's a 5. So we need to be the same. Okay? So here, from here down to the final answer, this 5 and this 5 are the same. One more time. This 5 and this 5 are the same. So this 5 and this 5 are the same. They cancel out. I just have the 2. Okay? This P right here, 5 and 5, they cancel out. So I just have this P. Okay? So one more time. This 5 and this 5, they cancel out. So bring the 2 down. This 5 and this 5, they are the same, cancel out. So bring down the P. However, this 7 cannot be 5th root. This P square cannot be 5th root. So we put them together as one piece. So 5 and 5, they are the same. So put the 7 and P square together as one piece. Okay, so this is the final answer to the original problem up here. When we have 5th root, okay, so what I did earlier, I did cube root, I did 4th root, and I did 5th root. And the rest is pretty much the same if I have 6th root, 7th root, and so on. Again, this small number right here means what can I multiply that it is repeated 3 times? Same thing here. What can I multiply that can be repeated 4 times? And same thing here. What can I multiply that is repeated 5 times? So this number right here means how many times can be repeated. Okay,